On the Denver front, obviously the defense left a lot to be desired, but it's really tough to evaluate because they straight up weren't meeting the intensity of the moment. And I shouldn't even say of the moment, just of the Wolves and what they were bringing from the jump. But lots of encouraging stuff for Nuggets fans on offense. Predictably, Cam Johnson looked like a very natural fit on that end of the floor, flowing in and out of action, making reads when he got to the middle of the floor on kickouts. He got a easy layup off of a back cut on the right side of the floor where Jokic hit him easily for a layup. I just don't see any problems at all with the basketball fit there. He wasn't great contain on defense either, but he, again, that whole team wasn't really bringing the intensity there, so I'm trying not to overthink it at this point. Aaron Gordon's jumper still looks fantastic. He showed some mid-range kind of like ISO stuff as well, kind of a rescue possession along the left elbow where he just shot over the top, and then pretty nifty little crossover move into a pull-up along the right baseline that he hit. And I mean, I saw a bunch of that in his summer like pickup tape, the stuff that's going around on Instagram of dudes just playing pickup basketball. We saw a lot of that from Aaron Gordon this summer, so I was wondering how much more we will see of it. And I do think that we will see more of that this year. I thought Jamal looked like he was in better shape than he typically is in at this point in the season. He was getting good lift on his jumper. He looked strong on his drives. I think he had 5 assists and 1 turnover. He was handling the ball well. I thought he looked good. Christian Brown is flying up and down the floor in transition from the jump. Kind of a classic Nikola Jokic play on their first defensive stop. Kind of a scrum rebound situation. Jokic is getting like dudes are hanging on him. He gets the rebound, and Christian Brown leaks out, and he just literally has like just barely a step on the guy who's trailing him. And there's a big gap up the floor in front of him. There's other defenders back, but there was just kind of a gap between Christian and the next layer of the transition defense. And Jokic just kind of flipped it up ahead, like this big looping bounce pass that Christian just ran into like a wide receiver. And he got all the way to the rim for a foul. And you could see Jokic, like after he threw the pass, he just went into chill mode and was like, I'll just stay back here on defense. And it's just always been a sneaky, awesome part of Denver's attack on offense is they just hunt these transition opportunities to make the game easier for them. And again, it's a way to make your athleticism complement your unathletic players, right? Like you get a guy like Jokic who can literally run a devastating transition attack like he's been running for years, even though he's not a great athlete, just because he's constantly looking for his athletes in the open floor. Lots of exciting stuff from the bench. Jonas Valanciunas, I talked a lot about scheme consistency with him over the course of the summer. It was really fun to watch them just play Nuggets basketball when Jokic was out there, right? Like, or when Jokic went out of the game. Like they just threw the ball to Jonas on the block against Joan Behringer over and over and over again. And he abused him on the block 3 times in a row for like layups and easy hook shots. He was setting great screens out at the 3-point line, freeing ball handlers up. He was hitting guys on cuts. In and out of action. He hit Julian Strawther for an easy one right underneath the basket. I just think the fit there is perfect. Jonas is going to be great with them in that role. Jalen Pickett came in and put in like a tough shot making display. He hit like a step back 3 at the top of the key, and then he had 2 rescue possessions where the clock's running out, and everyone just was like, "Here, you do it." And he made 2 ridiculous tough shots, like a kind of a movement 3 out of the right corner, and then like a one-legged fadeaway on the left wing that he hit. Some impressive shot making there. Peyton Watson looked super athletic in transition. Had a couple of nifty finishes on drives, a left-handed finish coming off of a dribble handoff on the right side of the floor, and then a nice like kind of like slow down, mature pump fake, wait for the defender to come in to get in the air, and then find that little angle for the push shot. Tim Hardaway Jr. missed his shots, but you could see the fit at least with him coming in and out of action with Jokic. I thought the basketball fit made a lot of sense there. The offense is going to be incredible. There's no way around it. They were barely trying in that first half in terms of their physical intensity against an excellent defensive group in Minnesota, and they put up 63 points, like just easy. And they're going to be a lot better as the season progresses. Jokic is still amazing. He's just so deadly in the short range. He got like 2 identical little floating bank shots off of inverted ball screens on the right wing where he just went down the floor, rim protector steps up and just boop, nice and soft over the top off the glass. Mid-range jumper looks great. He hit like a little short one against a great contest against Gobert and then another one along the left elbow. They're just going to be an awesome offense. They're going to score 1 million points this year. I'm going to say the same thing about them that I'm going to say about the Lakers when we get later into the show. They need to be an incredibly sharp execution team on defense, and they didn't look like it in their first preseason game. Now, I'm less worried about it for this particular group because they've consistently shown the ability to scale up after chilling in the regular season. They're basically right now the best switch flipping defense in the league, right? Like they can look bad for long stretches and then be good. Even the year they won the title, they were bad on defense to end the year. And it just didn't matter because they were able to scale up when they needed to. That said, the margins are a little tighter in this particular league because of Oklahoma City and because of the threats of teams like Minnesota and some of the other teams in the West, right? So with that being the case, I think it is probably a bit more important for this team to be a little more diligent in terms of their focus and execution on defense in the regular season than in years past. So just something to keep an eye on.